Hello, friends. I designed this class for that kind of get up and go morning. You don't have a ton of time, but you want to just move your body and start to wake up, especially on these colder mornings, maybe where you don't want to get out of bed or it's dark and it's hard to get out of bed. That said, you're feeling like you're low energy in the afternoon, maybe rather than having that sugar or caffeine, doing something like this might give you that boost. Find yourself in an upright posture. Sense that your buttocks bones are rooting down and the crown of the head is lengthening up towards the sky. So the 2 points creating space between them. And then breathe into that space. Every inhale, breathe into that space between the buttocks bones and the crown of the head. And just start to get in touch with, there's that central channel, the Sushumna is the Sanskrit name. And it's not the same thing, but I think it also brings us into that skeletal feature of the spinal column, right? But then sensing the energy, the more subtle things in and around that area. And go ahead and open those eyes and let's move the body. Come onto your back. You don't need any props by you for this one, unless you know you have some props that you use consistently, of course. Nothing I'm going to teach to. And have your feet hip distance and your arms can just be out by the side. Take just one moment here and just notice the body before we move it from this position. This will be our blueprint. We'll come back to this in a little bit. And then go ahead and bring the right knee up towards the chest. You can always interlace behind the thigh, especially my sensitive knee friends, but if you're going around the shins, go closer to the ankle today and hug the ankle down, that side of the leg, more so than the knee. Just a different way to work it, taking breaths. Even here, you can imagine filling the space between the buttocks bones and the crown of the head when you inhale. And go ahead and bring that right foot down and bring that left leg in. Again, you're welcome to do modification. If you do interlace or grab on to the front of the leg, the shin, go closer to the ankle today. And yep, the knee comes away a little bit more so than when we hug closer to the knee. And that is exactly what we're going for. You're breathing. And bring that down. One more time, bring that right leg in, interlace closer to the ankle, or at least grab closer to the ankle if you can. And again, soft shoulders, bring that right foot down, bring that left leg in. Same move on that side, taking a moment, just folding the leg in. Bring that left foot down. Now reach your right leg up to the sky. You're not going to use your hands behind the thigh today, but as you push that heel up, reach those buttocks bone forward, crown of the head back, right? So keeping that length of the central channel. And then from there, you're going to go ahead and you're going to circle the right foot a couple of times. I like to think about my big toe doing the movement. Go ahead and go the other way. I just feel like that gets me the biggest range of motion in my ankle, but what do I know about your ankle, right? And then from there, you can leave the foot pretty flexed and then go ahead and internally rotate your right thigh bone, your femur, and externally rotate your femur. So the reflection of that, of course, is we see the toes move in on internal rotation, out on external. But be wiser than that. Move from your big ol' heavy femur bone, your thigh bone, rather than trying to move your toes. And you're just moving back and forth. And then the next time you're in external, you're going to bring that right ankle down to the left knee. Flex that left foot, and maybe you leave the legs there, put it on a block, or maybe you come in. If you interlace, you can go behind the thigh or use a strap. If you do go around the shin, again, grab a little closer to the ankle today than up by the knee. And breathing. And that's borderline for me. It's tight this morning, so I'm actually going to go behind my thigh and give myself a little more space, but that is an option right around the shin. Both feet are flexed, taking a breath or two. And then go ahead and put that left foot down on the ground. Reach the right heel back up to the sky. Reach your arms overhead, being aware that you're just going into your shoulder girdle. Be kind. And then push into an imaginary block between your hands, those solar plexus, the solar plexus moving down to the ground. That's a number of us that I teach these days. And let that right leg come down to about 6 inches above the ground. If you need to put it on the ground, you do. Otherwise, from there, you're going to interlace your hands behind your head, push your solar plexus down to lift your upper body, head lays in the hands, right? And look at that heel. And with your magic eyes, you're going to push that heel, right? You're going to get that heel to push even further forward towards the front of the room. Keep the neck soft. Bring that leg all the way down. And now go ahead and re-extend the arms overhead and reach the right fingers and the right heel further away from each other. And again, this isn't everybody, but some of us, our solar plexus comes up, our low floating ribs come up to make that happen. Keep them down and keep that spine elongated on all sides. And bring those arms back down, bring the foot back up to the ground, pause, take one breath. Notice what you notice. Left heel reaches up towards the sky, and first we're stretching the back of the leg. Reach your buttocks bones forward, your crown of the head back. Keep the longest spine ever. Take your left big toe and circle. Right, so it's that idea of go ahead and move the other way. We still want to get into the joints and lubricate the joints. We don't want to move too hard, too fast, but we only have like 10, 15 minutes. So we do want to get some stuff in, right? Push that heel up. Go ahead and turn from the femur bone. External and internal rotation. And we're just moving that beautiful femur in the socket. The next time you are out, bring that left ankle to the right knee. You can stay here, foot on block, interlace behind. If you do interlace around the shin, go closer to the ankle today if it's available. That said, I'm giving myself a little more space, and I'm going to work with the body I have today, not the one that I'm trying to teach you to do, right? And breathe. So always listening to our very own body with every option, every pose, everything we do, feeling it, not thinking it has to look like a particular thing. Put that right foot down on the ground, re-extend the left leg up to the sky. Reach the arms overhead if that's available in your shoulders. Solar plexus, friends, soften the solar plexus down. Push into an imaginary block between your hands and then lower that heel down till it's about 6 inches above the ground. You can stay here, or interlace your hands behind your head. Push the solar plexus down mightily to lift the upper body. So it's not just me jamming my shoulders and my arms, it's the solar plexus lifting me. And then I'm going to push that left heel further forward. I can see it now. So really use your laser eyes to push the heel forward. And then lower the leg down, upper body down. Re-extend the arms and focus on the line from the left heel and the left fingers. They're reaching away from each other. Use the inhale, breathe into the space you've created between the two. And bring that foot back to the ground. Bring the arms back down. Pause and take a breath. So now go ahead and bring your knees in towards your chest, but a little wide. You're going to go ahead and cross your ankles and see if you can grab the feet, the big toes, the pinky edge of the toes or something. If you can't, you can just cross the ankles and grab the shins. If you can get a hold of either of those and rock a little bit from right to left, that can be just the pelvis. That gets a little more of a twist in the low body. You might lift your whole body and rock from side to side and massage out the whole back side of the spine. I'm demonstrating that one now. And then once you've done that a couple of times, you're going to go up and down. Unless this hurts your spine, you're going to go ahead and you're going to rock up and down a few times and just rock out your spine. And maybe eventually you come up to seated and you pause. And if you can't get up that way, come up some other way. I'm going to move my body back just a little bit and I'm going to reach my legs out in front of me. So there are variations with this one. I'm going to lean back. I'm going to pull my belly in like cat cow, and I'm going to bring my legs into Baddha Konasana, and then I'll have my hands by my side and I'll lengthen my spine on the inhale, right? We're going to go through a series like this. If you're not rounding your low back or the legs are too much, just move one at a time, leave the weight a little more on the ground, that kind of thing, right? So let's start in Baddha Konasana since I talked us into there. And exhale, pull the belly back. So think cat, and go ahead and extend those legs out into Dandasana. Inhale, lengthens the spine. You can have a bend in the knees. You can sit on something. Exhale, have those legs round the spine to bring the legs back into Baddha Konasana, bound angle. Inhale and lengthen. Notice the breath is a little shorter than what we've been teaching lately. Exhale back and reach those legs out wide. Upta Konasana. That's probably the hardest one of all. Right? Inhale up and exhale, pull the belly back. Really find that core work to bring the feet into Baddha Konasana. Inhale up. We're going to do that series one more time. Exhale, we let the legs come out in front of us. You're modifying how you need to. Inhale, Exhale, trying to lift the weight of the legs, coming back to Baddha Konasana. Inhale. Exhale, low belly, low belly, low belly, low belly, low belly, wide angle. That's the hardest one for me anyway. Woo-wee. And then go ahead and pull that belly back and come back in. And exhale up. You can swing the legs around if it's okay to cross your shins and roll over and come to hands and knees. We're going to meet in hands and knees. And do a couple of cat cows. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, pulling the belly up. And keep that slightly quicker breath today, but still be mindful about it, right? Still try to let it be smooth, even if it's not quite as long. One more cat cow. Coming back to your center. You're going to walk your hands about a hand print forward. And then go ahead and move your hips forward until your shoulders are over your wrists. And that's basically a half plank, right? The knees are down, but I'm bearing weight. Go to hands, knees if that's too much for you. We're going to do push-up plus, some people call it. You're going to let your shoulder blades move down towards your wrists, right? Around the back, or the back of the rib comes up to the sky. And then exhale, I pull the shoulder blades in towards each other like elevator doors. Down towards the ground. In together, that's the inhale. Exhale, push, pull that belly up, get your pelvic floor, and inhale. Don't let the belly drop here. Exhale, you're almost there. You got one more, pull it in. And then walk yourself back. Take a brief child's pose. And notice where you are in this beautiful body, if anything has shifted or changed. Come on up to hands and knees. Get everything back to hip distance down low, right? Walk your right hand into the midline. Bring your left arm up, elbow bent. Try that again. Reach that elbow up. Maybe turn and look up and just open the ribs and then reach past the right wrist. Reach, 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 reach. Set that left shoulder down. And if you need a prop, put it in there. Your right hand is going to come over out to the right, what I call training wheel, right? Like it's on a bicycle for a kid. And then push into those fingers and rotate into the twist a little more if that feels okay. Don't be forceful. And reach that right hand forward. Come back up through center. Inhale into cow and exhale up into cat. Come to center. Left hand, center of the mat. Right elbow is going to reach up. You're going to turn and look up. And then reach the right hand past that left inner wrist. Reach, 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 reach. Set down on something. Left hand out like a training wheel. Take a breath. And then exhale, push into the hand and rotate those ribs just a touch more. Don't be too hard on yourself here. Left hand forward, under the shoulder-ish. Come on up. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Come to center. Walk your hands a little forward. Curl your toes under. And do half of a downward dog, meaning you're not pushing all the way up. The buttock still reaches up. The chest is still reaching forward between the thumbs, right? The knees are very bent. Now go ahead and start to keep the knees bent. Start to reach those hips up and back. Push those hands forward and down. Check into the solar plexus for a few of my friends. Some of my friends, it's the upper back, not moving forward towards the chest. Pedal right heel down and bend that knee. Pedal left heel down and bend that knee. Now we're switching up. So listen, the left leg is going to straighten a little bit. You're going to bend the right knee and move it over to the left and look over your left shoulder. And come back to center. Straighten the right leg, bend the left knee, move it over to the right, look over your right shoulder. And come back to center. You can straighten the legs any amount, but you can keep them ultra bent. Take a breath. Inhale the right leg up into the air behind you. Bend the knee, lift the knee up. Maybe look over the right shoulder today. And then coming through center, you're going to step that right foot forward between the hands. Bring that left knee down if you need to, but otherwise, oh no, don't leave it lifted. Sorry. I just remember my sequence. It was different. And then step that left foot in. So pyramid, right? By the way, you could totally have blocks here under your hands for the ease, right? In the upper body. Inhale, we full reach forward and exhale, fold in. So now we're going to move this into a vinyasa, a sequence. You're going to bring that left knee down, put your your thumbs in your armpits and inhale, lift the chest. So that's the inhale, right? And then on the exhale, I bring my hands to my blocks to the ground. I step that foot back in and I lengthen both legs into pyramid and I fold per my capacity. Step that leg back a little bit, bring the left knee down, hands under armpits, inhale, lift, exhale into pyramid. And then this time come about halfway up, move the blocks, step back, downward dog. Take a breath there, just find the breath again. Downward dog, we know we don't have to try and figure out what's going on. It is a quicker movie sequence for sure, right? Left leg reaches up, you can bend that knee, lift that knee up, that hip up, maybe look over the left shoulder. And then you're gonna step that left foot forward between the hands. Feel free to bring those blocks in. Shorten the stance, bring the right heel down, and here's pyramid, right? Inhale the chest forward for the first one. Exhale, folding in any amount. And then for the next inhale, we're gonna step the right foot back, bring the knee down, fingertips and armpits, and inhale into a modified crescent lunge, very modified, right? And exhale, we move to pyramid. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, pyramid. This is where we break off. Come up halfway, move the blocks if you're working with them, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank, pause, maybe move that plank around a little bit so you have some fluidity and you don't get too rigid. That can look like anything. More than anything, just feel the fluidity, right? And then start to bring it into its structure and slow the movement down, make it smaller, and then still feel like you've got fluidity on the inside, so you're not rigid, but here we are with a little bit of stillness to the outer world. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Hopefully you're waking up. Inhale the right leg up into the air behind you. Step it forward between the hands. I'm going to turn my body so you can see better. I'm going to bring that block in. Some people might not need a block, where you've got short, medium, and I'm going to go to high. We're going to triangle. Drop that left heel down and then lift that left arm up and slowly unwind the body into triangle, right? Facing the left side of your mat, that long edge. And breathe, that right leg straightening, kneecap pulling up, maybe turning and looking up, but that's not the end all be all. Don't worry about what it looks like. Feel your body. Ah, hello, beautiful body. Look down, bring that hand down, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up, exhale, forward between the hands, maybe a block on the outside of the left leg, right heel drops down. With that left hand on the block, reach that right arm up, start to rotate the body towards the right side, coming to triangle, long left leg, pulling that kneecap up, maybe turning and looking up, and just feel that beautiful body of yours. Oh, body, I love you so much. Look down, bring those hands down, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Bring the knees down wide, child's pose. Take 2 breaths. You can start to slow the breath down a little bit, assuming that feels okay, of course. Pardon me. And then come on up. We're going to end in a upright posture. You could stay in child's pose. You could lay on your back, of course. We won't be here for very long, but if it's all right, come into cross-legged or kneeling or your variation, right? So my hope with this sequence is that if you had a hard time getting out of bed, it's darker earlier, it's cold, we want to stay under the covers, or maybe we're starting to feel some of that kind of heavier kapha energy coming in, whatever that is for you. Maybe you stayed up too late last night. Maybe this was a little shot of energy for you. Bring those hands together in front of your heart. Inhale. Exhale, bowing the head in. Being grateful to these beautiful bodies and to that part of ourselves that keeps showing up. Namaste. May we keep showing up.